Hello. Today, I'd like to tell you about David, a business leader I worked with. David was stuck. He was juggling so many tasks, he barely had time to think strategically. And he told me, I'm doing everything, but none of it feels right. The problem is that David was spending most of his time outside his zone of genius. So, what is a zone of genius? Well, your zone of genius is the integration of your passions and your greatest strengths. It's where you thrive, where time flows effortlessly, where your impact is the greatest. When you operate from this space, work doesn't feel like a grind. It feels like an extension of who you are. For David, his genius was strategic thinking and inspiring his team, but because he was bogged down with daily operations, he ended up feeling drained and unfulfilled. He was living out of alignment with his true gifts, and he's not alone. In my work with leaders, I see it all the time. Talented and ambitious individuals who are over functioning in their roles, and it depletes them instead of leveraging their strengths that could actually energize them. The result is intense burnout, dissatisfaction, and that creeping sense that something's, not quite right. Now, there's a simple and yet really powerful way to realign. And here's what David did. The first thing is he took a short inventory. I asked him to list all the tasks he did in a typical week and then circle the ones that really energized him. These were indicators of his zone of genius. The next thing I said was, can you eliminate, automate, or delegate any of these tasks? He began delegating or minimize. The key was to let go of the belief that he had to do it all instead of trusting his team to take ownership. Then he recommitted to his genius work. Once he had started to make space in there to realign it, there was something incredible, magical, I guess, that happened. His clarity and energy returned, and his team even commented how much more present he was and how they really appreciated how he was, whatever he was doing, because it was inspiring. What's holding you back? Uh, if it's not spending a majority of time in your zone of genius, ask yourself the following questions. Am I saying yes to things that drain me out of obligation or guilt? Do I fear that delegating tasks will make me look less competent? Am I equating busyness with productivity instead of focusing on impact? Now, I get it. Many of us were conditioned to believe that working hard and even at the cost of our well-being is a badge of honor. But real relationship isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things exceptionally well. Now, this is where the gift of receiving comes in. Many high-achieving individuals are excellent givers, but really struggle with receiving. And that includes receiving support or help or even the space to operate in their zone of genius without guilt. Now, from my book, Savvy Woman, one of the most profound mindset shifts is realizing that you're inherently valuable. It's not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Operating from your zone of genius, it isn't selfish. It's actually an act of leadership. The more you allow yourself to receive the support you deserve, the more you can give your best work to the world. So try this. Write down everything you do in a given week. Circle the tasks that light you up. These are the indicators of your zone of genius. Identify one task to delegate or minimize. Start small, but commit to it. And ask for support, whether it's a mentor or a colleague or a coach. Don't do it alone. Finally, operating from your zone of genius allows you to lead with energy. It helps to inspire others, and you create impact while staying aligned with your unique strengths. If you've been feeling off track, this is your invitation to come home to the work you were meant to do. What's one small step you can take today?